Hello, Stronger Over 40 crew. Today we are going to turn your walk into a workout. Now, I'm all about integration, right? We want to lower the friction of things that we are trying to incorporate into our life, and we want to integrate it. And one of the best ways to do that is to just take what we're already doing and change it up. So I had a great call recently with one of our community members, and he was mentioning to me, he said, I'm already getting a good amount of steps in. He was getting 11,000 per day on average, which was really awesome. And so I knew there was something we could do here to change that walk into a workout. And what was already getting him out, the good news is, he's like, my dog's always looking at me like, why aren't we walking? And so he'd get out with his dog. Super awesome. Now, if you're still trying to get your steps, maybe that's what we're working on. But if you're getting your steps and you're ready, then let's turn that walk into a workout. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to incorporate what's called rucking, or taking a military term called a rucksack, and we're going to pop some weight on your back. Now, there's a lot of great products out there that you can use to do this. Some online right now that you could find really easily. Wild Gym has a new one out right now, like a feather ruck that looks really good. Go Ruck is, of course, the ultimate when it comes to workout rucks. And if you end up if you end up going this way and wanting to buy a ruck, you're just going to want to think, what use do I want to use for this ruck? Is it going to be multifunctional? In which case, Go Ruck is probably what you're going to want to use, or something along that lines, like Wolf Tactical. Some of the more hard endurance ones where you're like throwing that rucksack around. It's got multi-handles on it. You can use it for, doing weightlifting and stuff. It's pretty cool, everything you can do with these rucksacks. And then there's others like the feather ruck that its main purpose is just put the weight on your back and feel comfortable as you're going. So just take those into account as you're looking at, I think I would like to pop some weight on my back. Now, if you just want to try this out, I'm going to give you an easy hack to get going. I wanted to make sure to test this before I send it your way. I'm used to rucking. Well, I used to be used to rucking because I was in the Army ROTC. So we had rucksacks. We would use those for our field training exercises and just fitness. So anyway, that's where the term comes from. But what I did here, I did JanSport rucking. So I just got this backpack that we were using for our bicycle gear out of the garage, and I was like, let's try something and see how this works. I've thrown weight in backpacks before, but I've never thrown a weight. Like, I've got a 25 pounder in here right now is what I've put in. And so here's what I did. I got that backpack and I was like, okay, I know when we're rucking, what we want to do is we want that weight to ride higher on us and not low. And what you'll want to do is just, check how's your back feeling. And yeah, be careful because you are going to be putting weight on your back. And so you want to make sure that it's centered and that it's not riding low on you. Okay. And if you got back problems, check with the physician before you try this. But here's a way that I found. I've tested this over this past week and it worked. So here's what I did with this JanSport backpack. All right, you'll notice a towel right here because I've got 4 towels in here along with this 25 pounder. And what I did is on the bottom of the JanSport on the inside, I've got 2. Well, let me get this guy out. I've got 2 that I just folded up so they are the same size as the base of the JanSport. Okay, and so they're just stacked on top of each other. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get that weight to ride as high as possible and still fit in there. So it's higher on my back for better feel and ergonomics. And then what I want to do is I want to make sure that that weight isn't shifting around or like definitely on my back. So the first towel I put down to fill the top of the JanSport. Now this one's going to go right along my back. So it's just folded like that. Boom. Okay. Giving me a nice cush right there. And then I pop this guy in right there. I'm going to place that towel around it a little bit. So let's see if you can see that. Okay. And now I'm going to pop this guy right here. Now, I don't know if JanSport still does this, but back in the day, they used to have like that lifetime guarantee. And I know I bought this guy when it had it, but I don't know if they'd still honor it today. Anyway, been using it for the last week and it's been working great. I didn't want to recommend trying something that wouldn't work. But if you just got a hiking backpack, depending on like how comfortable you are walking around your neighborhood, with a backpack, like what you want that to look like. I don't think you should care, but sometimes we do. Like that's just how it works. Then you can use whatever, and you could put flour, like sacks of flour in there. You could put salt, like I use for my water softener. But you could be creative, but because maybe you don't have like bumper weights sitting around like I do, and you're like, well, I don't have those 25-pound weights. What am I gonna do, Russ? Just get creative and see what you could do. You could do the same thing. And if I popped like 2 flowers up here, I guess what they normally come in 5 and 10-pound bags. So I could do 2 5s or a 10, pop it in there and wrap it in a bag or something like a black bag so it doesn't make everything nasty. And then try it out. So now I've got my rucksack ready to go, as you can see. Sits up pretty well. And again, this is what I've been wearing for the last few days. If you saw my post today, I said I was out on a 3-mile ruck. This one was the 3-mile ruck that I did. So if you are ready to turn your walk into a workout, here's some of the benefits you're going to get. Of course, toned legs. It's going to help with bone density. So that's nice. More muscle tone, more core. And you just feel great. Oh, also, you can burn up to 3 times more calories when you're out. Now, you want to do that with purpose. So it's, you could take your leisurely walk and you're still going to burn more calories and you're going to have the muscle benefits and the bone density and everything. But if you kind of like put a pace on it, as you're going, you can burn up to 3 times more calories than if you had taken those same steps. Let's say you go for 4,000 steps when you're rucking and you just put some purpose behind it. Going to make all the difference, and you could burn 3,000 more calories, which is awesome. So let's turn those walks into a workout. We're just going to integrate. We're already taking the steps anyway. We're just popping it on. If you're already walking the dog anyway, now you're just popping on a bag. Again, you can do some internet searches to find what works out well for you. Use those reviews and find the right thing, the right fit. All right, my friends, until next time, keep looking for ways to move, number 1. And integrate that movement into your life. See you next time. Oh, actually, I'm going to leave a little infomercial. Okay, here's our infomercial. If you haven't joined Skool, come. It is free until December 1st, right? So it's skool.com. And Stronger Over 40 is our club. So the Stronger Over 40 Club. You can get in for free. And as you get in there, I've got a 7-day launch that you can just get started with. It will teach you our 5 pillars or the 5 habits of mindset, recovery, hydration, movement, and nutrition. Those are all things that we want to integrate better and be able to change the habits that we currently have, which are sabotaging us, into the new habits, which are going to build us and sustain us throughout the rest of our life. And not just give us longevity, but give us quality of life as we do that as well. So also, benefit of rucking, it can help with joint pain. Sounds crazy, right? But because it's low impact and it's still compound exercise using your joints, it's just one of those cool benefits that you get from it. So if you haven't signed up for Skool, now's your time to get into Skool. Bring a friend because Skool is always more fun with friends and it's free. So do your friend a favor and do yourself a favor and get in right now. Don't wait till December 1st. Just get in right now. Let's get started. Let's get ready. Let's finish the year strong so we start the year strong, and let's not be those flash in the pan people that are just January 1st at the gym and then by March 1st they're gone. We're going to be lifers in what we do. Doesn't have to be at the gym. As you can see, I got my home gym right here. I don't even have a membership, so I don't even have to worry about January 1st and everybody packing the gym. You figure it out, but start right now, and a great way to start is by joining Skool and bring a friend.